Now I'm just going into like the foundation of what you want to have when you're growing your business and you want to diversify your income stream. So now you got to decide on your content and how you're going to utilize your content to drive in sales. So really, you got to know, who are you speaking to? Who is your product going to be for? Because once you establish who your consumer is, then it's pretty much easy peasy, because then you know what their struggles are. Then you know how to speak with them. Then you know where they hang out, where they don't hang out. Hello, welcome to Monetizing Mompreneurs podcast, where I take you behind the scenes with industry leaders, entrepreneurs, moms, working professionals, and amazing people pursuing their passions and going for their dreams. And I'm your host, Linda Mendable. Let's talk about growing your business with social media and the apps I enjoy using that makes my life easier as a mompreneur. So first things first is that we have to establish a foundation. And basically, you want to have a social media that you love using. So choose one of those. For me, it's Instagram. You want to have a website and you want to have a strong hook on that website. And what I mean by that is like having a strong header that really identifies who you are, who you're for, and what is it that you do. And so once you have the foundation laid out and in place, we can go to the next steps that you need. So an app that you would need in order to monetize online are carts such as Thrivecart, Sam's Cart. I believe also Flowdesk has a checkout option, but you need something like that, and MemberVault as well. MemberVault was a bit affordable back in the day. I know that they've also increased their prices, and they've also capped their prices at a certain place. I personally enjoy MemberVault because I have honestly seen more conversions on MemberVault as opposed to having my courses on Thrivecart. I've tested out both. And what I've come to realize is that people will check out your MemberVault, courses more than your Thrivecart, because of the way that Thrivecart is set up. So just something to think about. If I was just starting out and maybe I didn't have the funds that I wanted, and let's say I had $150 a month that I can put in towards my business, I would put it in MemberVault and having a website, and then having a marketing strategy like a blog to really set the tone. So blogging, and I have a course on blogging that you can get right on my website at lindamendable.com/shop. And basically it's one of the best marketing strategies that you can have, because you're having everything pointing back to your website. What do you want people to do? You want people to get to know you more, get to know your services more, and get on your website, right? I understand that there are people making money on just social media alone. And I don't know if you noticed, but sometimes the reels, right, reach can tank. You got to play the game, right? Put some skin in the game in order to make that money. But how can you make that money when you don't even know your audience yet and what they want from you and all that? So where is like the least like accident prone place that you can start? Well, I'm going to tell you, if you want to monetize online and create like some digital products and not having your time being all invested on basically what you're monetizing, right? Like, one-on-one is great. Service-based business is great. But I really think that in order to be successful in this day and age as an entrepreneur, you need to diversify your income. And what I mean by that is having digital products in place that your audience would absolutely love and appreciate from you. Ebooks are great sellers. Journals, also a great seller that you can actually upload into Amazon and have that going on autopilot. Amazon takes care of the publishing and all of that, and boom, you're getting a percentage, right? There's ways to diversify your income streams that it doesn't have to be hard. And a great app is Canva. Once you have basically your Thrivecart, right? You have your cart in place, whether it's Thrivecart or MemberVault, because I would have both. I would have Thrivecart and MemberVault, but like Thrivecart is a lifetime option on it. And sometimes if you're kind of like just starting in the game, I don't know, XYZ, and you don't want to put too much of an investment, then I would start on Member Vault. But Thrivecart in the long run is honestly an amazing tool because you can zap things everywhere. So yes, another app that I love using is Zapier. So you see how everything is just like falling into place. You set up your foundation, you have your social media in place on where you like to be, right? Whether it's LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, however, you have a link that you're pointing them to, right? Usually it should be your website because you can actually see your analytics. I know that Linktree does have a way that you can see analytics, but you actually have more in depth and you get more bonus points when you have a website. So I would actually recommend that you do not use LinkedIn or anything. I actually strayed away from that because I wanted more views and accurate views on my website. And I wanted people to dig further into my website, if that makes sense. And so what I would recommend that you would do is having your domain.com/Instagram, and then having whatever it is that you're promoting in that page that you have ultimate control over. If Linktree goes away, boom, where are your stats? Where are your analytics, right? And I find that it's so awesome and amazing. And we can go into like WordPress and what plugins that you can have for that. Like one of the plugins for that would be Monster Insights. It's one of my favorite plugins, and Yoast SEO. Having those. Now I'm just going into like the foundation of what you want to have when you're growing your business and you want to diversify your income stream. So now you got to decide on your content and how you're going to utilize your content to drive in sales. So really, you got to know who are you speaking to? Who is your product going to be for? Because once you establish who your consumer is, then it's pretty much easy peasy because then you know what their struggles are. Then you know how to speak with them. Then you know where they hang out, where they don't hang out. For me, monetizing mompreneurs. Mompreneurs are who I serve because I'm a mompreneur as well. And you know what? Sometimes my daughter will be in the conversation. Sometimes if I do have a meeting with a client and hey, my daughter is going to be with me, you know, they're okay with that because they understand that I'm a mom. Or sometimes things happen like, you know, client can't make it because their kid got sick. They have to pull an all-nighter. You know, can we reschedule that? Of course, I give grace for that. So as moms, we have our own struggles and I understand those struggles and I'm able to speak into that. And that's why I've chosen Monetizing Mompreneurs, not only because of that, but because I wanted to create a community. I didn't want to be alone anymore. And I wanted connection and I wanted, you know, community over competition. I wanted just like, hey, let's get together. Let's collab. What's going on here? What are you going through? What is the new thing? All of that. And by the way, we have a new offer that we're kicking out and it's all about focusing on reels. So if you want to join our reel group, accountability group, which is in beta, just send me a DM if you heard this episode and you're like, you know what, I want to join a group of women that are doing things with reels because we're just focusing on reels. That's all it's about. 1 hour a week, batching or talking about batching reels. That's it. We're focused on one thing and that's it. And that's reels because I really believe reels is so powerful. And it's actually one of the ways that I grow my Facebook group and all of that jazz. So boom, that's my social media strategy. And if you want to partake in that social media strategy as well, and you don't want to be alone, join us this week, March 7th to the 9th. We're in March, right? This is dropping on Monday on the 6th. So please join me on 7, 8, and 9. We're going to have networking session. I'm going to talk more about the Reels Collaborative Group. And I'm just really ridiculously excited. But anyways, so boom, we got our foundation. We understand that we want to point to our website because we want to grab those analytics. We want to make sure that Google knows that, hey, our website is hot and popping. Put us up in the search history. And then having a strong hook, that banner on the top got to speak directly to your person in some type of way that lets them know, oh, I landed in the right place. So it has to kind of match your social media a bit. what content you're putting out there so people understand, ooh, I'm in the right place. That's what you want people to feel when they land on your website. You want them to feel excited, like, oh, finally I'm in the right place. I can't wait. I'm looking for a specific thing because they spoke on XYZ and I want to get into this. So if you're hearing about the reels, maybe what I should do on my website, boom, update it. Hey, join our reel group or learn more. Click here, XY, right? I may or may not, because we got a lot of stuff going on. But if you're hearing this down the road, you'll probably see this in our shop page, because that's where I'm going to be placing all of my courses, or in my student login area that you can see all the courses that I have to offer. We got our foundation. Now we got the right apps, right? And I've tested a whole bunch of apps. I've been in Samcart. I've seen different checkouts, right? Kajabi is somewhat of a checkout, but also hosts, your courses, just like Member Vault, also hosting your courses and all that jazz. Now, for me, I remember when I was first starting, that $100 a month price range was pretty difficult. So guess what? What you can do when you're starting off, you can actually do WooCommerce or Lifter LMS, have a WordPress website, and have courses up in your website for as little as $4.95 a month. I don't know, they probably upgraded it, but I know GoDaddy has some great deals on websites, on WordPress websites. And let me tell you this, it is important on where you get your website, as I host my client's website. So if you are also looking for some support and reach out to me, I am accepting new hosting clients. You can reach out to me and I will host your site and I will be your tech support. But anyways, it matters where you're hosting, because I remember when I was using a hosting company, I'm not going to say the name, but it wasn't GoDaddy and it wasn't some of these other popular, but there was one of them, right? And they were one of the lesser popular ones. And my client's site got hacked. Of course, I took care of it. Because basically they used their site like as a phishing for credit cards, and she was a financial advisor. I don't know why or how that happened on her website specifically, but I do know it could be because the hosting company itself got hacked on their security breach or something like that. But I know when I reached out to support, they were not willing to help us. So we did get it fixed and everything got tip top. But of course, when things like this happens, it's out of my grasp and it can, ruffle some feathers. So I learned a lot from that experience. So just be careful on where you're hosting your site. A very popular one is GoDaddy. I recommend GoDaddy just because, and this is not sponsored by them at all, but I recommend them because they have great customer support. Like as a web designer, I can get into my client's website. I host my clients' websites on there. Like, hey, I set them up. Like, hey, this is to start your web design if they want it to be on, like, away from hosting for me and they want it to just be on GoDaddy because they've already been on GoDaddy. So there's different options, and I'm like cool with any option because I'm all for my client's success, because I truly believe your success is my success. Like if you're listening to this and you get some good tidbits and it gets your reels, your wheels going and you get some aha moments, and then you start, what are you going to start doing? Like, hey, you need to listen. So valuable content. We got our foundation, we got our sales cart, so we can basically accept Stripe. You need a Stripe account. So Stripe, which is so you can accept credit cards. And I love Stripe. Absolutely love them. They're amazing. Never had any issues with Stripe. And then also PayPal. PayPal, I've heard a lot of issues with them. I personally haven't experienced any issues with PayPal. They've been good to me. But PayPal as well, because people do like paying through PayPal. And so if you want to grow your business, you want to have those options, because that can be a barrier to entry, and you do not want to have a barrier to entry. So another thing is Canva. Canva is, I think currently is $12.95 a month. It's an amazing price point. So boom, you got your website for less than $10 a month, which has your WooCommerce, which is also a payment processor. And you want to attach that to your Stripe, so you can start attaching that to your bank account. You want a PayPal that you can also attach to your WooCommerce. This is like the cheapest way to start. You want to get a WordPress website. and you want to use Lifter LMS, there's a bunch of other ones. You can actually go to my blog, lindamandible.com/blog, and I have a whole bunch of plugins that you need and would want. Just download it. It's free. It's a checklist of all the plugins that you would need and what I use as a web designer. You can start there, right? If you want to just get lean as possible, because I do recommend being lean as possible, and then you can get fancy, right? As you grow, you can get fancier, but starting off as lean as possible is going to save you in the long run, because if you keep your overhead low, you have more profitability and all of that jazz. So boom, Canva, one of the best things, because you will be making graphics for the digital products that you're selling, right? Whether it's courses, ebooks, how have you, even swipe files, you can definitely, jazz it up, make it super cool looking with Canva. Now, what I enjoy about Canva is that they have definitely provided so many templates, so many design assets, and you can customize it to your needs. So it's a must in this online game. So get you some. And then we do our audiograms from our podcast in Canva, right? So it's like our form of marketing, and it's an amazing marketing tool that you can use, right? It beats out Adobe for the people that are not into Adobe, right? Like, a regular person, a regular Joe, Joe Schmo, right? A regular person, right? That you haven't studied InDesign and Adobe, Photoshop and all that, because they have seen a lot of amazing reels done with Illustrator. But would it be easy for you to learn, right? And get things going quickly? Probably not. So Canva is like the next best tool to get started. Then, of course, you can hire on a graphics designer that is knowledgeable in all those amazing tools, and keep on growing and smashing those goals. So the next one is Zapier. Zapier is incredible. All right. It's amazing because it will zap things from your Trello to your Asana to, everywhere, right? So certain things that you need automation for, that's when you need Zapier. And you have to realize, okay, what do I need, these automation for? So for me, I host a Facebook group, and we're looking for speakers. We're going to be, for our summit, we had a speakers thing, and we have to have an easy way to shift through all the speakers, through all the applications. And of course, I use Trello, spreadsheets, and Zapier. And so I use Google Forms for the sign up. I zapped it onto our Trello board, and boom, we had everything there that we can easily move cards around and just organize it in a way that's a lot easier than just a spreadsheet. And so these organizing tools that I really enjoy using are ClickUp. So at first I did not like ClickUp because it's just like, oh man, this is like such a long list and everything like that. But I feel as though ClickUp is pretty darn cool. So ClickUp, Trello, if you want to use ClickUp when you're getting a team, I would recommend, if you're like a solopreneur, first start in Trello and then upgrade to ClickUp. Of course, you can also upgrade to ClickUp from the jump. That might be easier because transferring things over and processes over and you're used to using a certain way gets kind of difficult. So if it were me, I probably would start on ClickUp so I can know it like back and front, because I do not know it back and front. I actually had a team member that transferred us over into ClickUp from Trello. And that has been a learning curve for me, especially understanding how ClickUp works. So I would just start at ClickUp. But like I said, if you have a budget of what you can spend monthly that will not break the bank, that you're investing in your business, and that monthly, you can easily start at $100 a month. And, I would recommend around that. Put aside $100 a month, $50 a month. Even that, you can start a business with that, and an online business and monetizing. And then get into groups like ours that we're having with the Reels. Get into focus groups to smash goals, because you can learn a lot from those focus. I'm in another group from another host all about email marketing because I want to learn more about email marketing. I want to be able to sell through email. And so, of course, I have invested in a focus group once a week. It is a live, and she goes in, she looks at your sales pages because she's all about copy, and she sells in email. So she's all about copy. And I'm learning so much. And so remember, in these focus groups, you're going to learn. So get in one right away. And there are some really affordable ones out there. And ours is pretty affordable. So especially that it's new and we're in beta. So come in now. And it will really be a blessing because you're going to learn so much. And I mean, there's always a learning curve. And if you're hitting certain blocks, you need to get focused. And so find out what you want to get focused on. For me, I knew I needed my email list. And now I know, like for me, what people have been coming to me for, they're coming to me for, hey, we want more social media. How do I have a passion of mine? I mean, if it gets monetized, that's awesome, but that's not really my focus. My focus is just to put content out there on Instagram, make videos. How do I start? And so that is why I created the Reels Collaborative, because this is what my audience has been asking for. And so I delivered. And so when you have the strategy, when you understand who you're for, when you have your website, when you have a place on social media that you are being consistent in, and you have a strong hook, and you have a community and an audience, your audience is going to help you kind of pull out what they would absolutely love from you because they see a talent that you have. They see how you're showing up. They see the information that you're giving, and they will tell you what they want. It could be a focus group. It could be a mastermind. It could be group coaching. It could be just a course. It doesn't have to be something that it's on your time. It could be something like, oh, we really would like more resources on this. So boom, an ebook, and so using all of that you have, making it work in just a strategic way. And so that's when strategy comes into place. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you next week. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have a chance, stop by the website at lindamendable.com. Sign up for the Blog Cure, which is an awesome course that I created that will help you set up your blog or take your blog to the next level. And join us over at Monetizing Mompreneurs Facebook Group. I just want to say again, thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening.